The nickname Buffalo Soldier was given to the Negro Cavalry by Native American tribes who they fought in both the Civil War and Indian Wars. The term eventually applied to all of the African American regiments formed in the year 1866. The name was used because the Native American tribes noted how the curly hair of these African American soldiers resembled that of a buffalo's hide, thus giving them the name Buffalo Soldiers. There were a total of 4 regiments formed during the Civil War in 1866, which consisted of only African American soldiers. They fought alongside the Union Army and not the Confederate Army. There have been speculations that they fought on the Confederate side as slave soldiers, but Buffalo Soldiers indeed were free and belonged to the Union Army. The first war any Buffalo Soldiers ever fought in was the Civil War, which is where the original name came from. The name was originally formed for the 9th and 10th Cavalry Regiment on the Union's Army side. The name was later carried on in the Spanish-American War, and it applied for the Infantry Regiment, which fought in Texas. In the Indian Wars, a total of 6 regiments were involved in the fighting, 2 cavalry regiments and 4 infantry regiments. They fought in the Apache Wars and the Great Plain Wars. The name was yet carried on throughout other wars as well. In World War I and World War II, soldiers of infantry divisions who were predominantly African American were given the name Buffalo Soldiers. In the Korean War, Buffalo Soldier units were finally disabled, which was in 1954. Buffalo Soldiers can be considered a myth because there has been much controversy as to where the term Buffalo Soldier originally came from. Although all evidence points to it coming from Native Americans, some historians believe the name came from Congress and symbolized the conquering of Native Americans by these individual African American soldiers. Buffalo Soldiers have been well honored, and many references have been made to their existence. Bob Marley's song, which has been playing throughout this entire presentation, is entitled Buffalo Soldier. His lyrics argue that Buffalo Soldiers were taken from Africa, which they originally were, and forced to fight for their lives on American soil in American wars. He also describes the inspiration and legendary sternness of these Buffalo Soldiers.